On a serious note, Justin Bieber is going through it. Justin Bieber is doped up. Justin Bieber is teed up. Is anybody gonna help him? No, but for real, like, prayers to Justin, because he's just posting stuff on Instagram. He's so effed up, like, he's so teed up, like. And pray for Haley and the baby. Like, they are innocent bystanders. Like, whatever goes on in the background, they got a baby now, okay? So pray for the mama and the baby. The grandma is the baby.
He's spiraling in public. She's rewriting captions like she's hiding something. And now fans are asking one question. Is this the final crack in Justin and Hailey Bieber's marriage, or just the calm before something much worse? It started with a cryptic mirror selfie. Then came the captions cold, targeted, and angry. You could point out my flaws, or recognize your own. Was it aimed at Hailey? At his critics? Or at someone we don't even know exists yet? Meanwhile, Hailey's out here sipping lemon martinis and quietly scrubbing the word therapy from her Instagram. One word. Deleted, and it sent fans spiraling. Behind the glamour, something's clearly off. Justin's been posting strange religious rants, vague confessions, and even asking ChatGPT if ketamine can be used to control people's emotions. That's not normal, that's a cry for help. And while Hailey's making billion-dollar business moves, Justin's bouncing between spas and posting lyrics that sound like indirect jabs, the captions are getting darker. The silence is getting louder. And now, with Sexy Red and Ray J dragged into the mess, the internet's wondering, is Justin Bieber unraveling in real time? Or is this all part of something bigger we're not supposed to see? Let's break it all down. It all escalated with a single photo, a bathroom mirror selfie Justin Bieber posted that sent the internet into full speculation mode. But it wasn't the lighting or the pose that caught people off guard. It was the caption, "You could point out my flaws, or recognize your own, little B." The tone? Sharp, defensive, unfiltered. And fans immediately started asking, who was this for? Was it directed at Hailey? A shot at his critics? Or something deeper bubbling under the surface? Some followers felt personally attacked. Others dismissed it as another edgy Justin moment. But beneath the sarcasm, there was a vibe. A dark, confused, maybe even unraveling one. And then people started looking closer, zooming in. That bathroom, grimy, cluttered, the kind of space you don't expect from a millionaire pop star with a mansion and a cleaning crew. One comment summed it up, "This is not normal. Is Justin okay?" Because this wasn't just a one-off. It came right after another strange public moment, Justin showing up to Hailey's skincare event earlier this year, looking completely zoned out. Like, not there. Like, something wasn't right. Fans were already drawing comparisons to Britney Spears, the Instagram spirals, the eerie detachment, the cryptic captions that leave more questions than answers. And it wasn't stopping. In another post, Justin wrote, "I'm accepting that God forgives me this morning, so I can forgive myself and others." That doesn't sound like a casual thought. It sounds like a man who's trying to crawl out of something deep. Comment sections lit up with concern. People weren't asking what he was wearing or who he was dating, they were asking why no one around him was stepping in, why it felt like we were watching a meltdown in slow motion, why every post read more like a cry for help than a marketing move. The concern only deepened when fans discovered something even more disturbing. Justin had posted a screenshot of a ChatGPT conversation where he asked, "Has ketamine been used to control people's emotions?" That's not your average late-night curiosity. That's the kind of question that sends red flags everywhere. People immediately started speculating. Was he talking about himself? Wondering if someone had tried to manipulate him? Or was he considering using it to cope? Whatever the intention, the vibe was unsettling. Especially since ketamine isn't just some trending therapy treatment, it's the same substance linked to Matthew Perry's tragic hot tub death. Originally designed as a horse tranquilizer, ketamine is now being explored for emotional healing. But in the wrong context, it can numb more than just pain. It can silence clarity. And while the internet was trying to decode that bizarre ChatGPT post, Justin kept the emotional spiral going. "This is how I feel after people keep telling me there's more work to be done. After I've given everything I've had." That line didn't sound like motivation, it sounded like exhaustion. Burnout, defeat. Fans were reading between the lines, and what they saw wasn't a superstar with a strategy, it was a man barely holding it together. In another post, he wrote, "I don't think any of us handle hearing. You just gotta try a little harder and you'll be like me." He was clearly pushing back against the pressure, The constant performance of greatness. The grind that never ends. Then came the kicker. "I tried," he said. 3 words. Simple, but loaded with pain. And then, "You have everything you need right now." That part was supposed to be uplifting, but to many it felt out of touch. Like something a celebrity says from a mansion, forgetting the reality of people who are working 3 jobs just to survive. He added, "We've turned life into a hustle," and called out how everyone's become obsessed with doing more. And sure, he's not wrong, but coming from someone with luxury and security, the message landed flat. For fans, it felt more like spiritual bypassing than real empathy. And that contrast between his emotional unraveling and his disconnected messaging only made things feel more off. But just when fans thought the post couldn't get any more cryptic, Justin dropped another message that had people genuinely confused and concerned. "Conditioning will make you feel like you didn't know what the F you knew," he wrote. It was a sentence that felt fragmented, but also deeply personal. Was he talking about being gaslit? About being manipulated by the industry or someone closer? The line read like a man trying to claw his way back to his own reality. And then he doubled down. "I always knew in my gut. Jesus was always the answer to pain." That confession didn't feel performative. It felt raw, like someone desperately searching for something to anchor him. Whether you believe in religion or not, one thing was clear: Justin wasn't just posting. He was purging. And while he was unpacking emotional trauma online, fans spotted him in public at a spa in West Hollywood, wearing a knee brace, limping. No explanation, no statement. Just another layer of mystery on top of the mess. Was it a real injury? Was it stress-related? No one could say. But the timing paired with the erratic posts, the religious overtones, the sudden bursts of anger made everything feel heavier. His team insisted he was on the right path, but fans weren't buying it. They pointed out how his posts felt too personal, too direct, too unedited. One fan wrote, "I don't think Justin even has a social media team anymore. This is just him, posting in real time." And honestly, that's what makes it even more alarming. Because when a global pop star is pouring out his fears, his faith, his rage, all without a filter, it stops being content. It becomes a confession, and people couldn't look away. Then came the moment that truly split the internet: Justin's Mother's Day post. Hailey's very first Mother's Day, and instead of a sweet tribute or a supportive message, Justin shared something that fans found off. The tone was distant. The caption felt like a half-hearted nod buried under a backhanded compliment, and fans noticed. Comments flooded in calling him out, questioning why he would choose such a moment to be cold, even shady. Some called it a missed opportunity. Others called it intentional disrespect. It didn't help that around the same time, rumors resurfaced that Justin had once told Hailey she'd never land a Vogue cover, a low blow that aged terribly, considering she now had. The emotional disconnect was growing louder, and the silence between them, deafening. And yet, while Hailey was out there securing deals, attending press events, and building her brand like a boss, Justin seemed to be retreating further into confusion, bouncing between spas in a single day, posting cryptic quotes, and leaning hard into spiritual themes. But one post stood out above the rest. Loyalty is manipulative language. Loyalty is duty. Loyalty is an obligation that is not free. That wasn't subtle. That was someone working through serious trust issues, and fans had questions. Was this aimed at Hailey? Was he calling out friends? Or was this about something much deeper, maybe even tied to the mysterious group he was once rumored to be involved with? He didn't stop there. He added another message. Love is delight. Please stop using loyalty to keep people around you out of your own fear. It's hurting us. That kind of language doesn't sound like a random shower thought. It sounds like a man feeling trapped, manipulated, and trying to fight his way out. And then, just to stir the pot further, he linked loyalty to gang culture, saying mafia members use it to trap people. Finally, he signed off with, "Love over loyalty. Forever." Fans were left stunned. Who exactly was he talking about? A business partner? A family member? Hailey? Or someone we don't even know about yet? The messaging was vague, but the pain behind it wasn't. Then, just as fans started catching their breath, Justin dropped another bombshell post, one that didn't just sound emotional, it sounded personal. "I will never be like you. You have nothing that I want. Your face and life look undesirable. No context, no tag, just a sharp, almost surgical slice of bitterness that hit harder than any direct call-out. And the internet lit up. Some followers joked, "Why do I feel personally attacked?" While others went quiet, realizing this wasn't a joke, this was a breakdown in slow motion. The post read like a man at war with someone. Maybe Haley, maybe the industry, maybe himself. But whoever it was aimed at, it came from a deep place of rejection and disillusionment. It was the kind of line you don't post unless something inside you is already breaking. And then, like emotional whiplash, Justin followed it up with a softer, almost poetic message. Just a reminder that you can make it through today. You may have an ocean of sadness welling up inside you, a boat of anxiety about what awaits outside your front door, but I believe in you. For a moment, it sounded like comfort. But even that comfort came drenched in melancholy. Fans didn't know what to make of it. Was he trying to uplift others or remind himself that he's still afloat? The tone was moody, uncertain, and haunting. Then came the real. Dark, slow, full of aesthetic shadows and piano-heavy background music. A moody, cinematic vibe that suggested something bigger was happening beneath the surface. He looked exhausted spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It felt less like content and more like a visual diary entry. And just when people thought the vibes couldn't get more confusing, Justin suddenly jumped online to defend his friend Sexy Red. And fans couldn't help but notice the urgency, the energy, the speed with which he jumped to her defense. Faster than he's ever responded to criticism of Haley. Faster than he's ever addressed the rumors swirling around his own marriage. That didn't go unnoticed. People started asking, why is Justin more willing to go to war for a friend than speak up for his own wife? The whole situation got even messier when Ray J randomly claimed he had a fling with Sexy Red and that it happened on a plane. He didn't hint, he didn't imply. He flat out said it. And the internet immediately caught fire. Sexy Red shut the rumor down fast, demanding a public apology and calling Ray J a flat-out liar. And in the middle of it all, like clockwork, Justin Bieber jumped in, defending Sexy Red, posting cryptic comments, even calling Ray J a cornball. His reactions were swift, sharp, and deeply emotional. But again, fans noticed what wasn't being said. Justin had never clapped back that hard or that fast when people came for Haley. And now, the double standard was impossible to ignore. The drama escalated. Ray J backtracked, claimed the whole thing was a misunderstanding. That by slept together, he meant they literally slept like on a plane, in seats, next to each other. No hookup, just a nap. Sexy Red wasn't having it. She fired back on Instagram, saying they barely even spoke, and called Ray J out for lying on his meat. And that's when Justin chimed in again, clearly irritated, calling Ray J's move weird and throwing out more slangy captions that had fans scratching their heads. One of them read, "Anime is weird, playing in Yahoo." What did that even mean? No one could tell. But one thing was clear. Justin was emotional, involved, fired up. And all of this, the plain story, the Ray J mess, the random slang, the moody visuals, it painted a picture that fans couldn't unsee. Justin wasn't just reacting. He was living inside the chaos. And while Sexy Red appreciated his support, the real question was still hanging in the air like smoke. Why doesn't that same energy show up when Haley gets dragged online? Why is he so present in someone else's fire but absent in his own? As the chaos continues to swirl around Justin, one thing has become painfully clear: the man is caught in a storm that feels both internal and very, very public. From cryptic captions about loyalty and trauma to defending Sexy Red faster than he's ever defended his wife, Justin's online presence doesn't feel strategic, it feels raw. And while some fans are brushing it off as just Justin being weird, others are deeply concerned, not just for his marriage, but for his mental health. Because this isn't just celebrity drama anymore. It's starting to feel like we're watching a slow unraveling in real time. And then there's Haley, making business moves, rewriting captions, and staying composed while the internet analyzes her every blink and scroll. She's moving like someone who's protecting an image, or maybe just protecting her peace. But the tension between them, it's impossible to ignore. Publicly, they're drifting. Privately, who knows what's really happening behind those walls? But fans are picking sides, forming theories, and asking one haunting question over and over again. Why does this relationship feel so one-sided? So now we're here, watching it all unfold on Instagram posts and story captions, on moody reels and passive-aggressive song lyrics. And honestly, it's exhausting. Not because of the drama, but because it feels real, messy, unedited, and maybe even a little dangerous. What do you think is really happening between Justin and Hailey? Do you think he's spiraling or finally breaking free from something darker? And should Hailey stay in this? Or walk away while she still has the power? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear it all. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because this saga, it's far from over. Meanwhile, Hailey's presence in all of this is eerily quiet, strategic maybe. Or maybe just tired. She's showing up for business, for press, for the brand, all while pulling back anything that might give people too much insight. That therapy line in her caption, it didn't vanish by accident. But deleting it didn't kill the buzz, it lit a fire, because it told fans there's something she doesn't want us to see, or something she's afraid we already have. And now, people aren't just asking what's wrong with Justin. They're asking, why is Hailey still there? This doesn't feel like a typical celebrity rift. It's not a PR breakup. It's something murkier, more human, more complicated. On one hand, you have a man who seems spiritually torn, emotionally fragile, and erratically open. On the other, a woman trying to stay poised while the world questions her worth, her choices, and whether or not she's being loved the way she deserves. So now, fans are drawing their own lines. Some say Justin needs help. Others say Hailey needs to walk. Some believe it's just a phase, a creative purge. Others fear it's the beginning of something much darker unraveling in plain sight. And through it all, one truth keeps rising to the surface. This relationship doesn't feel equal. The silence from Justin when Hailey is being attacked, the speed with which he defends others, the captions that feel more like weapons than reflections it's painting a picture that's getting harder to ignore. What do you guys think is really going on behind the scenes? Is Justin unraveling? Or waking up? Is Hailey choosing peace? Or performing stability for the world? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just celebrity drama. This is about loyalty, emotional survival, and two people who might be on completely different paths while still pretending to walk together. And if you want to follow every twist as it happens, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because, trust us, this story, it's just getting started. Now that everything's out in the open, the captions, the silence, the sudden bursts of emotion, the question isn't just what's happening. It's how much longer can this go on before something breaks? Because it's not just about what Justin is saying online anymore. It's about what he's not saying about Hailey, about his marriage, about the storm they're clearly in the middle of. Every post is like a puzzle piece that doesn't quite fit. And fans aren't just confused, they're uneasy. There's a growing sense that we're not watching a pop star go through a phase. We're watching someone try to scream from inside the gold-plated cage that fame built around him. And Hailey? She's still smiling in the photos, still showing up to meetings, still playing the game. But there's a heaviness there too, in the quiet edits, in the missing ring, in the way she talks around things instead of through them. She's smart. She knows what people are saying. And maybe that's why she pulled back the therapy caption. Maybe she didn't want to add fuel to the fire. Or maybe she did, just long enough to make sure we were watching, and then pulled the match away before the whole thing went up in flames. Either way, that subtle act, deleting a single word, told us more than an entire interview ever could. What's hard to watch in all of this is how asymmetrical everything feels. Hailey gets attacked, and Justin says nothing. But when Sexy Red gets pulled into a lie, he's in the comment section in seconds. He's calling people out. He's showing up. So fans are left wondering, is that loyalty? Or is that misplaced energy? And more importantly, does he even realize the message it sends? Because from the outside looking in, it doesn't feel like protection. It feels like avoidance.